Every inch of this is worth fighting for.
Hello, I'm the Smoking Cheddar, but you probably already knew that. Welcome back to another Officer Spotlight, this one a little bit later than usual. I was busy last week. It's that time of the year, we all know it is what it is. So, what do we have today for you? We have Surf Strider, the most recent Navy officer, versatile, field, defence. As always, we'll grade the skills 1 to 5, and we'll go from left to right, starting with the tactical skill, ending up on the awakened skill. At the end of that, we will give a overall score for the officer, and then from there we'll explore maybe some possibilities and how we can use this officer and what potentially, if any, units he'll be good on. So anyway, shall we hop straight into it and have a look and see what we've got? The first skill, a tactical skill, grants officers warship a shield for up to 2,250 damage co-efficiency. This is exceptionally high. It doesn't do anything different though to the standard shields now at 1800, other than it gives you slightly more shield. So if we were to compare, for example, we get damage resistance in 1800 here.
Every inch of this.
We get additional shield here. This is a 3. It doesn't wow me. The shield's very good, but it doesn't give you anything extra. It is higher than the other shield, but it's a 3. I think this is pretty much an average skill. It's a useful skill. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. Actually, no. This is a 3. It doesn't really do anything other than provide a shield. And if we're using a double shield setup, this guy's probably going to be an aid, so that's not really all that great. Sorry, it's a 3. We got a standard HP of 40% for the second skill, Tough as Tide, a protection skill. That's going to be a standard skill. That's a standard 3. We have officer skill resilience of up to 30% for the third protection skill, enduring surge. This is a 4 because of how we're going to be using this officer. It's a very good skill. 30% skill resilience is very nice, although it is becoming a standard as well. And here we have a damage intensity of 20. So this is again just a standard skill for the fourth skill, Wave Breaker. This doesn't do anything extra special. It's average. That's going to get a 3. Now we get to the Awakened skill. We got through these ones awfully quickly because there's just not a lot meat on the bone here, I'm afraid. Riptide. When this officer's warship loses their shield, it gains 20% damage resistance for 2 seconds. This is actually really good, because we already know this works very well when we have it on officers like Svalin. Having a 20% damage resistance for 2 seconds can make or break the unit. It's not a 5. This is a 4. He sits at an average 3.4, and I mean, this guy is almost as middle of the road as you can get. He's not brilliant, he's not terrible. Right, so a 3.4 defensive officer, how would we use him? Well, I alluded to that only a short time ago, how we would use this guy. This guy is an aid to effectively Captain Unbeaten.
Every inch of this is worth
We
fighting
would effectively place him on a destroyer with Captain Unbeaten as the captain and Surf Strider as the aid, and then we would basically hope that we've got them both awakened, and that the shield, when it gets broken, is able to increase that damage resistance just long enough for us to stay in the fight. Now, Why destroyers? Well, destroyers are very good at tanking enemy bases, specifically the armoured destroyer out of the three, having the highest amount of sloped armour, HP, and it's just a monster. Obviously, with the anti-air destroyer and the missile destroyer, you're focusing more on damage towards different areas. You can still use this combo on those destroyers if they're the only destroyers you have, but obviously that comes at the sacrifice of damage output. Alternatively, you could use the destroyers for damage themselves. The armoured destroyers for damage themselves. They've got a very high penetration rating and can deal quite a bit of damage. Realistically, this guy is an aid to another shield officer, and what you're using him for is for soaking damage from an enemy base, preferably on an armoured destroyer. So this is an extremely quick video. As I said, we didn't get one out last week. It is that time of year, I'm afraid, and I am in a conquest. The L4 is not going too great and it is taking up a considerable amount of my time. And we've also had a number of setbacks with the previous video that was scheduled for last week, which you're probably going to see in the near future. So, I've been the Smoking Cheddar, you've been very patient. This has been Surf Strider, an average guy with a very strange saying when you click on him, and the fact he's holding a heart. I'll just leave that to your dirty minds.